Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. You know how we love to get into the nitty-gritty of things.
Absolutely.
And today we're going beyond those typical job boards that everyone's seen.
Right.
We're diving deep, as always, into the world of collaborative hiring software.
Sounds good.
Specifically, we found this company called Recruitee,
Okay.
and we dug into all their marketing materials, all their information.
Interesting.
And let me tell you,
Yeah.
there are some really fascinating features they're highlighting.
I can imagine. Yeah, the recruiting world is changing so rapidly.
Oh, absolutely.
It seems like companies are finally realizing that just posting a job and hoping for the best
Yeah.
isn't the most effective way to find top talent.
You really have to be more proactive these days.
Yeah, it's really about teamwork and shared insights,
Mm-hmm.
using data to make those smart decisions.
You're exactly right. And that's what really caught my eye about Recruitee.
Oh, okay.
They're not just presenting themselves as an applicant tracking system.
Right, an ATS.
Yeah, exactly, an ATS.
Yeah.
They're really pushing this idea of collaborative hiring,
Interesting.
almost like it's a whole new approach.
It is in a way,
Uh-huh.
because they're really walking the walk too.
Okay.
They're not just talking about it.
Right.
They have all this software packed with these features that just make collaboration easy
That's what you want. Right.
and efficient. You know,
Streamline things.
for example,
Yeah.
imagine all those little tasks that just eat up your time,
Oh, tell me about it.
like scheduling interviews back and forth through email.
Ugh, the worst.
I know, it's a nightmare,
So many emails.
right? And Recruitee has this built-in scheduler.
Oh, wow.
It takes care of all that for you.
Really?
You just set your availability, the candidate picks a slot, and boom, interview scheduled.
No more email ping pong.
No more email ping pong.
I love that.
And that's just one tiny example of how they're using automation to save you time.
Right. Free up your time for those more strategic tasks.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's a huge time saver, especially for busy hiring managers who are already juggling a million things. But I have to ask,
Yeah.
wouldn't all this automation make hiring feel a little bit impersonal?
Hmm.
You know, how do you make sure you're still building a connection with these candidates?
That is a great question. And it's one that Recruitee has definitely thought about,
Okay.
because while they do offer things like automated rejection emails,
Right.
they also give you tools to help personalize that candidate experience.
Okay. Yeah.
So think like custom email templates,
Yeah.
a streamlined process that keeps candidates in the loop.
So they always know what's going on.
Exactly.
Mm.
And even the ability for everyone on the hiring team to easily give feedback.
Okay.
So a candidate feels like they're really being considered.
So it's like finding that balance, right?
Yeah,
Automating the stuff that nobody wants to do, but making sure that human element is still there.
exactly.
Got it. Okay, I like that.
And this focus on a more human approach,
Mm-hmm.
extends to how they help companies source candidates too. It's about going beyond just posting on job boards.
Right, because you're just getting the same pool of people.
Yeah, and they even use this term sourcing power.
Yeah, I saw that.
But it makes a lot more sense when you understand the problem they're actually trying to solve.
Okay.
Think about it. If you're only using job boards, you're only reaching people who are actively looking for jobs.
Yeah.
What about all those fantastic candidates who are happily employed?
Oh, right, the passive candidates that everybody wants.
Exactly, the hidden gems.
Yes.
And Recruitee gives you tools to find them.
Okay, how so?
Well, they have features for social sharing,
Okay.
so your team can spread the word about those open positions.
Get it out there.
Yeah. Plus, they have this referrals hub.
Ah, referrals, those are gold.
They are, and it's all about tapping into your team's network.
Yeah,
You know?
because you already have that trust built in, right?
Exactly.
Mm.
It's not just some random resume in a giant pile.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah. And Recruitee makes it so easy to manage all those referrals. You can track where they're coming from, see which ones actually turn into hires.
You can measure it.
Exactly. And even reward your team for recommending top talent.
Ah, that's smart.
So it's a win-win.
I like it.
But it's not just about finding those candidates right.
Right,
You have to manage the entire process efficiently,
from start to finish.
from the first hello to the final decision.
Absolutely.
So what does Recruitee offer on that front?
Yeah, what else?
Well, remember those interview templates I mentioned?
Yeah.
They're not just about saving time.
Oh,
They also make sure that everyone on the hiring team
yeah.
is asking consistent questions.
Ah, so you're all on the same page.
Exactly.
When it comes to evaluating the candidates, no one's going off script.
Nobody's going rogue.
I like it.
And those consistent questions mean that you can make fairer comparisons between candidates.
Right, you're comparing apples to apples.
Exactly. It's all about removing as much of that subjectivity as possible.
Makes sense. And hiring isn't just about gut feelings these days, right? Right.
You got to use data.
Data plays a big role.
It's a data-driven world.
It is, and Recruitee is all about those data-driven decisions.
Okay.
They have all these customizable reports and dashboards.
Oh, wow.
And they can give you incredible insights into your hiring process.
Okay, that's a lot of data, though.
Yeah.
How do you make sure that users don't get overwhelmed?
Right.
And that they can actually get useful information from it?
That's where Recruitee's design really shines.
Correct.
They've made these dashboards intuitive and easy to use,
Good.
even for people who aren't beta experts.
That's important.
You can track things like time to hire candidate sources,
Okay.
which recruiting channels are actually working the best,
Useful.
even the effectiveness of your interview questions.
Wow. So you can really see what's working,
Yeah.
what's not,
Mm-hmm.
and use that to constantly improve.
Exactly. It's like having this constant feedback loop for your whole hiring strategy.
I love that idea.
But it's not just about internal data.
Right. Recruitee also has some really impressive social proof.
Oh, okay. Like what?
Over 6,000 companies are using their platform,
Wow.
including some really big names.
All right. Spill the beans. Who are we talking about here?
Okay. So think Google, Amazon, even Greenpeace.
Wow. That's a diverse group.
It's a wide range, and it really shows that Recruitee can scale to all these different needs.
That's a good sign. And if that's not convincing enough,
Yeah,
they say they have a 97.1% customer satisfaction rate.
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
And, they even included some short quotes from satisfied customers.
Oh, nice.
One thing that really stuck out to me was how many people talked about the time savings.
Yeah, time is money.
One user said they saved 12 hours a week just from automation.
Wow. Imagine what you could do with an extra half day every week.
I know, right?
That's amazing.
And it's not just about time.
Okay.
Clients are also raving about the improved candidate experience
Good.
and increased transparency that Recruitee brings to the whole hiring process.
So they're really hitting on those pain points that companies struggle with.
Exactly.
I like it. And here's another detail that I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
They offer over 120 integrations with other popular apps.
That's huge.
So you could connect Recruitee to your existing project management tools, communication platforms, your HR software, all of it.
No more jumping between platforms.
Everything's talking to each other.
It's a huge efficiency boost.
I can see that. And they also offer a free trial and demo,
Yeah.
which I always think is a good sign.
It shows they're confident.
They're confident in their product.
Exactly.
They're willing to let you try it before you commit. And their customer support is supposed to be top-notch.
I've heard that too.
They claim an average response time of under 7 minutes.
Wow.
That's impressive.
When you're dealing with something as time-sensitive as hiring, that kind of responsiveness can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. All right, so we've covered how Recruitee works,
Yeah.
what it can do all these different features. But I'm curious,
Yeah.
beyond just those practical benefits, what's the bigger picture here? How might this whole idea of collaborative hiring actually change the future of work itself?
That's a great question, and that's something that I think we should dive into.
Well, let's save that for part 2.
Sounds good to me.
We'll take a deeper dive into that next time.
I'm looking forward to it. So when we think about the future of work, right, it's really easy to get caught up in all the buzzwords,
Oh, yeah.
automation, AI, the metaverse.
Metaverse.
But what I think often gets overlooked is that human element.
Right, how people actually work together.
Exactly. And I think this whole idea of collaborative hiring, using tools like Recruitee,
Yeah.
it's actually a sign of a bigger shift that's happening, I think.
Okay, in what way?
Companies are starting to realize that building strong teams,
Yeah.
it's not just about finding people with the right skills on paper.
So it's not just about checking off those boxes on a resume?
Right. It's about finding people who can actually collaborate effectively,
Who can work together?
who can work together, exactly.
Okay.
So think about it this way.
Okay.
If a company is using collaborative tools and processes right from the start during the hiring process,
Right from the get-go.
it sends a really powerful message about their values.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, this is how we do things around here.
Exactly.
We value everyone's input. We work together.
We're a team.
It's a team effort.
And it goes beyond just sending a message.
Okay.
If you're bringing in people who are already comfortable with these tools
Yeah.
and this way of working,
Right.
imagine how much faster they can hit the ground running
Yeah. Get up to speed quickly.
and start contributing.
It's like you're not just hiring for a specific role.
Right.
You're hiring for a mindset.
A mindset.
A willingness to be a part of a team.
Exactly. And that can be super important in today's world where things are changing so quickly.
All the time.
Companies need to be able to adapt
Be agile.
Learn new things, pivot when they need to.
Right.
And a collaborative culture can be a huge asset in that kind of environment.
Because when people feel comfortable sharing ideas,
Right.
asking questions, challenging each other,
You're more likely to come up with those innovative solutions.
right, get those creative juices flowing.
Exactly. And that can lead to a more engaged and productive workforce overall.
Happier employees, too.
Absolutely. When people feel like they're really part of a team.
Yeah.
And that their contributions are valued,
They feel seen.
they're more likely to be happy and fulfilled in their work.
Okay, so we've talked about how collaborative hiring can create a more collaborative workplace.
Right.
But what about the types of candidates that companies are looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Will this shift change what they're looking for in a potential hire?
Well, traditionally, hiring has been very focused on individual achievements and skills.
Right, hard skills.
But as collaboration becomes more important,
Yeah.
we might start to see a shift toward valuing different qualities in candidates.
Like what kind of qualities?
Things like communication skills,
Okay.
emotional intelligence,
Yeah.
active listening.
Those soft skills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The ability to give and receive feedback constructively.
So it's not just about what you know, it's about how you work with others.
Exactly. And this could be a really good thing in terms of building more diverse and inclusive teams.
That's a really good point.
Because after all, collaboration is all about bringing together people with different perspectives and experiences.
If companies are actively looking for people who can collaborate effectively,
Right.
they're more likely to build teams that reflect a wider range of backgrounds and viewpoints.
It just makes sense.
And we know that diverse teams are more creative, more innovative,
Better problem solvers.
better problem solvers, so it's a win-win.
It is.
Companies get better results, employees get to work in a more inclusive and stimulating environment.
And this is where that data-driven aspect of Recruitee can really be powerful.
Okay, how so?
By tracking things like employee engagement and retention. Companies can actually see if their collaborative culture is working.
So they can measure the impact
Yeah.
and make adjustments as needed.
Exactly. It's about using data to make hiring decisions,
Right.
but also to build a better workplace overall.
I love that idea, using data to create a more positive and supportive work environment.
Me too.
But let's be realistic for a minute.
Sure.
What are some of the challenges that companies might face when they're trying to implement these collaborative hiring practices?
Well, one of the biggest challenges can be resistance to change.
Oh, yeah. People don't always like new things,
It's true. Some people might be hesitant to adopt new tools and processes.
especially if they've been doing things a certain way for a long time.
It's that, but we've always done it this way mentality.
I've heard that a few times.
And to overcome that, you really need strong leadership,
Yeah,
a clear vision for why this is important,
right.
and ongoing training and support.
So everyone's comfortable.
So it's not just about buying the software.
Right.
It's about creating a culture that embraces collaboration and technology.
It's a mindset shift.
And we have to remember, technology is just a tool.
Right.
It can help, but it can't create collaboration on its own.
It's the people.
It's the human connection, the
Yeah.
trust, a shared sense of purpose.
Well said. It's a good reminder that we shouldn't get so caught up in the tools
Yeah,
that we forget about the human element.
absolutely. And another challenge to consider is data privacy and security.
Oh, that's huge these days.
It is when you're dealing with sensitive information like candidate
They
data.
take people's personal information.
You need to make sure that you're choosing a platform that takes security seriously.
Absolutely, especially with all the concerns about data breaches.
Exactly. Do your research.
Yeah.
Ask tough questions about their security protocols and data handling practices.
Transparency is key.
Transparency is key.
Okay, good advice.
But let's not dwell on the challenges.
Right, let's focus on the positive.
We've talked a lot about the potential benefits of collaborative hiring. But what are some concrete examples of how companies are actually using these tools
In the real world.
to improve their recruitment process?
Yeah, give me some examples.
Well, one common use case is streamlining communication and feedback
Okay.
instead of emailing resumes back and forth.
Yeah, or trying to track down everyone's thoughts.
Exactly. Imagine a hiring team using a platform like Recruitee
Okay.
to centralize all that communication and feedback in one place.
So everyone has access to the same information. They can see each other's notes.
Everyone's on the same page.
And the whole process is much more transparent.
Much more transparent, and that can really speed up the hiring process.
Which can be a big advantage in a competitive job market.
It can.
Less time wasted, faster decisions, everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
I like it. What else?
Another great example is using these tools to actually improve the candidate experience.
Okay. How so?
Instead of just sending out those generic automated emails,
Right.
companies can use these platforms to create more personalized and engaging interactions.
It's about treating candidates like human beings.
Exactly, not just numbers in a system.
Right.
And this could involve things like sending personalized messages,
Okay.
providing regular updates on the hiring process,
So they know what's going on.
or even offering feedback to candidates who weren't selected for the role.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
It shows that you respect their time and effort.
Even if they weren't the right fit.
It leaves a good impression.
And it helps to build a positive employer brand.
Even among those who don't end up working for you.
Exactly. Which can be so valuable in today's world where everyone's sharing their experiences online.
Reputation is everything.
It really is. And here's another exciting example.
Okay.
Using collaborative hiring software to actually promote diversity and inclusion.
Oh, tell me more about that. I'm always interested in ways to make hiring more equitable.
Well, some companies are using these platforms to implement blind hiring practices.
Okay.
Where you remove identifying information like names, genders, schools.
Oh, interesting. So you're evaluating candidates purely on their skills and experience.
Exactly, without any unconscious bias creeping in.
I like that a lot.
And some platforms even offer features that can help to identify and mitigate bias
Oh, wow.
in job descriptions and interview questions.
So you're addressing bias at every stage of the process.
From the initial job posting to the final decision.
It's about creating a more level playing field.
A level playing field.
Giving everyone a fair shot.
Exactly, and that's fantastic.
I love the idea of using technology to promote greater fairness and inclusivity in hiring.
It's really powerful, and it can have a ripple effect throughout the whole organization.
How so?
When you have a more diverse workforce,
Yeah.
you get a wider range of perspectives, ideas, experiences,
Different ways of thinking.
which can lead to better decision-making and more innovative solutions.
So it's not just the right thing to do.
Right.
It's also good for business.
It's a win-win.
Everybody wins, and these are just a few examples.
Yeah, just scratching the surface. As these platforms continue to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative and impactful applications in the future.
Absolutely. It's really exciting to think about the possibilities.
It is, but before we get too carried away with the future,
Yeah.
let's bring it back to the present.
Okay.
What are some key takeaways you want our listener to remember about Recruitee specifically?
I think it boiled down to this.
Okay.
Recruitee is trying to be more than just a software provider.
Okay.
They want to be a partner in building better hiring practices.
A partner that helps you find great candidates,
Yeah.
build stronger teams,
Mhm.
and create a more collaborative and human-centered workplace.
Precisely. But don't just take our word for it.
Right? Do your own research. Explore the platform.
Maybe even take advantage of that free trial they offer.
See if it's the right fit for your needs and goals.
Exactly.
And if you're already using Recruitee,
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear about your experience.
What's working for you?
What features are you finding most valuable?
Yeah. What challenges are you facing?
We'd love to hear from you.
After all, the best way to learn is by sharing our experiences and insights with each other.
Exactly. So let's keep this conversation going. We've covered so much in this deep dive.
Yeah, a lot of information.
From, those specific features of Recruitee to the bigger impact of collaborative hiring as a whole.
Yeah, it's a big topic.
What really stands out to you as that most important takeaway?
I think for me, it's realizing that hiring, it's not just an operational task.
Yeah.
It's really a strategic lever that can shape a company's culture
Yeah.
and ultimately its future.
It's like that old saying, you hire for skills, but you fire for attitude.
Right.
Maybe with this collaborative hiring, you can actually hire for both right from the start.
I think so, yeah. By using these tools, embracing that collaborative mindset, you're not just filling a position.
Yeah.
You're really building a team that's set up for success.
A team that works well together.
Yeah, a team that can communicate, solve problems, and adapt to change.
And that adaptability, that's key in today's world.
It's crucial. The companies that are going to thrive in the future, they're the ones that can move quickly,
Right.
innovate, and learn from their mistakes.
And all of that starts with having the right people.
It does. It starts with the people.
People who are excited to work together,
Share ideas,
push each other to be better.
and who are comfortable using data to make informed decisions.
Not just going with their gut.
Exactly.
This has really been eye-opening for me,
Yeah.
this whole world of collaborative hiring software.
Fascinating.
It's not just about making HR's life easier.
Right.
It's about creating a more dynamic and ultimately successful organization.
And I think it can create a more fulfilling work experience.
Yeah, for everybody involved.
When people feel like they're truly part of a team, that their contributions are valued.
They feel seen.
And that they have a voice.
Yeah.
It leads to greater job satisfaction.
And who doesn't want that?
Exactly.
So to wrap things up here, what's that one big idea that you want our listeners to take away from this whole deep dive?
Well, we've talked about Recruitee.
Collaborative hiring in general.
The future of work.
The future of work.
I think it all comes down to this.
Yeah.
The future of work is collaborative.
Okay.
And the companies that embrace this reality,
yeah,
they're going to be the ones that attract and keep that top talent.
And build a more engaged, productive, and innovative workforce.
Exactly.
So if you're trying to step up your hiring game, or even if you're just curious about how to create a more collaborative and successful work environment, I really encourage you to explore this whole world of collaborative hiring software.
There's a lot to discover.
There is, and don't forget, this is just the beginning of the conversation.
Right.
There's so much more to learn and explore.
And to discuss.
So keep those minds curious.
Keep learning.
And let's all build a better future of work together.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Happy collaborating.
Happy collaborating, everyone.